Is Donald Trump still the president? Well, I just turned on Saturday Night Live. It's Valentine's Day, 2026. I got a new blanket. It was just a few dollars at Walmart. And it would appear that I'm several episodes behind this new season. Might as well just start over. This is season, 51 or something. I would like to take some time this morning. It's 9:25 a.m. Central Time. And I would like to express out loud, because for as gifted and I will say happy as people seem to be being flattered or content is not enough to actually have relationships. You do have to divulge, divest, invest, and not make assumptions. You know, it's important to confront your feelings and to try and let people know how you feel. You know, if it's about relationships, and I do aspire to be a generous person. There's a lot of things that I would love to share with people or offer someone. It's really frustrating because for as unhappy as I am, I still have a lot of habits about care. You know, I have my hygiene. I try to demonstrate with my stuffed animals how to be comfortable and clean. And and yet that's not enough for, you know, intimacy or fulfillment. I do that because it seems obvious to me. It just seems like the best use of time. So I do that. I don't know what I would say, you know, for other conditions of isolation. But I don't think a stuffed animal is the problem. I don't know. It's ironic because when it comes to situations where people are either in, you know, reform or punishment, you know, you think like, well, what should be provided? You know, I do. I think about it. And it's interesting because I think a prison or a jail is not really an environment where people are nourished or fostered. And that is important. You know, if they're going to be kept, if they're going to be alive, then they do need to have some semblance of what it means to be healthy. And they should be trying to be more thoughtful. So it's interesting because, with that being said, you know, the kind of person who would work at some place like that really shouldn't be a bodyguard or, you know, the strongest, scariest person. They should be the most available or the most, I don't know, uh, resourceful. And that's usually the kinds of things that I would indicate for myself. Um, I don't believe in torture. I don't believe in I don't believe in prisoners because it sounds like it's just more of the same thing. You know, like it's not actually solving the problem. And so then the juxtaposition is that someone who did something bad should still be treated better than how they've treated people. That's where I stand. Unfortunately, there are people who just seem really happy or are really optimistic, and they're the ones who get to be in these positions of power because they have no complaints and because they don't cause any problems, because they're not trying to do something different. They're not trying to, you know, make a new program about it or something. And to identify those kinds of people requires a completely different framework. They avoid problems, but oftentimes are a problem because of that. Because they're in situations where they have to, where they should be made to either relocate things or, you know, reorganize things, but they don't. And they'll just act like there's no problem. But if you're ever trying to care for something, you know that there is an endless number of things to re-examine. The, you know, the weather or your finances or, you know, whatever else can come up. It's never the same thing. That's the difference between a successful person and a conscientious one. So that there's bound to be resistance, and you're not supposed to give up. You're not supposed to let an obstacle prevent you from your goals. And in reconstructing those, you know, there is more room for everyone to be more present and And so on this Valentine's Day, although I don't currently have any relationships, I would like to offer this sentiment. I would love to define love for you. And I really hope that you'll make it your own. And basically, it's not an all-star try. It's a lifestyle. And what we really do need now, what the world needs now, is love. So I pray that that those that are in need find a way to communicate that. And I pray that in doing so, we are able to activate around this this compassion and empathy, and it's not about there being insecurity. It's not about there not being enough of things. It's the difference between trying and or settling, I guess. I used to ask people, how they managed to be so happy. And I know that sounds like kind of a rude thing, but I mean, I was impressed. And, they don't usually have an answer. But I think, ultimately, it was just my attempting to acknowledge what I think is desirable. And it's not that I want to it's not that I want people to be unhappy. That's not why. I just think that there's so many people who don't really feel the need to reflect too much, and they're stuck in this sort of entendre of meaning, and they don't recognize that because they're not trying to show up for anyone but themselves, that they're actually enabling some of these really passive-aggressive, toxic personalities. That just because they smile and because they never want to start a fight doesn't mean that they're not facilitating some sort of trouble. It's not a matter of delegating. It's a matter of accountability, and with that, responsibility for what you hold dear. All right. Have a good day.